Did you know that the Central African Republic was officially known as Ubangi Shari until December 1st, 1958? But it's not just CAR that has changed its name. Many African countries have taken control of their identities, shedding their colonial names for something closer to their roots. Welcome back to Africana Historica. In this video, you'll discover all the 17 African states that have changed their names in the past few decades and why they had to make the switch. Let's start with Ghana. The name Gold Coast was given by the British due to the region's rich gold resources. But after independence in 1957, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana's first president, led the country to change its name to Ghana in honor of the ancient Ghana Empire, which symbolized strength, heritage, and African identity. Ghana was the first sub-Saharan African country to gain independence from colonial rule. Next, we have Zimbabwe, which was known as Southern Rhodesia during British colonial rule. Named after the British imperialist Cecil Rhodes, the country's name was a constant reminder of its colonial past. In 1980, following years of struggle for independence, Robert Mugabe, the nation's first prime minister, led the name change from Southern Rhodesia to Zimbabwe after the Great Zimbabwe Ruins. The name change sought to eliminate the colonial legacy and assert national identity. Burkina Faso was previously known as the Republic of Upper Volta. The country got its name from its rivers, the Black, White, and Red Volta rivers. But in 1984, under the revolutionary leadership of Thomas Sankara, the name was changed to Burkina Faso. Burkina means upright in Mossi, and Faso means homeland in Dioula. The new name means land of upright people. Number 4 is Botswana, known as Bechuanaland during British rule, changed its name when it gained independence in 1966. The name Bechuanaland was derived from the Swana people, the country's largest ethnic group. Upon independence, the country reverted to Botswana, which means land of the Tswana. In 2018, after 50 years of independence from British rule, Swaziland's King Mswati III announced that the country would revert to its original name, Eswatini, which means land of the Swazis. The name is officially Kingdom of Eswatini. Number 6 is the Republic of Mali, which was once part of French Sudan. When the country gained independence in 1960, it chose to be officially called Mali, after the legendary Mali, one of the most powerful empires in West Africa before European conquest. Number 7 is Namibia, previously known as German Southwest Africa. But, under British rule, it became Southwest Africa and was administered under South Africa from 1915 to 1966, and under South African occupation from 1966 to 1990. The country was renamed Namibia by the United Nations in 1968, and it also retained the name after independence in 1990. Lesotho was called Basutoland during the colonial era, a name that reflected the Basotho people who lived there. When the country gained independence from Britain in 1966, it changed its name to Lesotho, meaning the land of the people who speak Sesotho. Next is the Democratic Republic of the Congo, which has undergone several name changes throughout its history. It was initially called the Congo Free State as King Leopold II's private domain between 1885 to 1908. Then it became the Belgian Congo, a colony controlled by the Belgian Parliament until independence in 1960. It was then renamed to the Republic of the Congo. Following a constitutional referendum in 1965, it was again renamed the Democratic Republic of the Congo. However, when Mobutu Sese Seko forcefully took power in 1971, he renamed the country Zaire. After his overthrow in 1997, the country reverted to the Democratic Republic of the Congo to distance itself from Mobutu's dictatorship. At number 10 is Benin, known as Dahomey, until 1975. The change was driven by the need to reflect the country's diverse ethnic groups, as Dahomey was closely specifically associated with the Old Kingdom of Dahomey in southern Benin. The new name was inspired by the Bight of Benin. It was renamed in 1975 the People's Republic of Benin, and in 1991 the Republic of Benin. Next is Zambia. This country was formerly known as Northern Rhodesia. After gaining independence in 1964, the new name Zambia was chosen. It's derived from the Zambezi River. Number 12 is Mozambique. When the country gained independence from Portugal in 1975, it dropped the colonial designation of Portuguese East Africa and adopted the name Mozambique. This name stems from the Sultanate of Musa bin Bike, a 16th-century Arab trader who ruled the islands in the area before the Portuguese. The Portuguese colonized the country from 1505 until 1975. 13 is the Central African Republic. It was formerly a part of French Equatorial Africa and was called Ubangi Shari during French colonial rule. On the 1st of December 1958, the colony of Ubangi Shari became an autonomous territory within the French community and took the name Central African Republic to reflect its geographical position at the heart of Africa. It achieved independence on the 13th of August 1960. Next is Malawi. This country was formerly known as Nyasaland. Between 1953 and 1963, Nyasaland was part of the Federation of Rhodesia and Nyasaland. After the federation was dissolved, Nyasaland became independent from Britain on the 6th of July, 1964, and was renamed Malawi. This change was championed by the nation's first president, Dr. Hastings Banda, to reconnect with the country's pre-colonial roots. Next are Rwanda and Burundi, which were jointly known as German East Africa. But in 1916, Belgian forces drove out the Germans and occupied the territory until 1922. It was renamed Rwanda-Urundi under Belgian colonial administration from 1922 to 1962. Both Rwanda and Urundi became independent on July 1, 1962, as two sovereign countries, the Republic of Rwanda and the Kingdom of Burundi, respectively. Number 16 is Djibouti. Until 1967, the territory was officially known as French Somaliland, when it was renamed the French territory of the Afars and the Isas. Later in 1977, it became the independent Republic of Djibouti. Its new name is derived from the local Afars and Isas ethnic groups. The next is Guinea-Bissau, formerly known as Portuguese Guinea, which declared its independence from Portugal in 1973. The country added Bissau, the name of its capital, to differentiate itself from neighboring Guinea to the east and south. And then there is the actual Guinea. This small West African country was the first African country to gain independence from France in 1958. Previously known as French Guinea, once the country gained its independence, it simply became known as Guinea under the leadership of Ahmed Sékou Touré. Finally, at number 19 is Somaliland. One thing to note about this country is that it is still a disputed territory and is an unrecognized country. We are covering it here because it is a self-government entity of indigenous African people. Somaliland declared independence from the rest of Somalia in 1991 after decades of tension. From 1940 to 1941, it was occupied by the Italians and was part of Italian East Africa. It would later be called Italian Somaliland until it fell under the control of Britain in 1941 and became British Somaliland. On the 26th of June 1960, British Somaliland achieved independence as the state of Somaliland. 5 days later, it chose to unite with the former UN Trust territory of Somalia to form the Somali Republic. But after a long crisis, it broke away on the 18th of May, 1991 to become simply Somaliland. And there you have it, folks. Thanks for sticking through to the end. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, kindly subscribe and hit the like button and notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video.